Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the best cushioning setups that you can get right now for basketball. Of course, if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. And cushion is kind of hard to do as far as lists go because it's super subjective, right? So I'm trying to be as objective as possible, but it's pretty hard. You know what I mean? Because of course I have a preference and everyone else has a different preference. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yo, I have a couple of friends where I'm like, yo, full length zoom stroll, super nice, very bouncy. And I have a couple of friends that actually don't like it. And I have a couple of friends that really like it. And some people are just like, whatever, you know? And some people, they want something extremely crazy. And also some people, they want like nothing actually. They want something super responsive, very low to the ground. And when they put on the shoe, they're like, yo, this is nice and comfortable, I like it. I'm like, yo, that's like a freaking, you're barefoot. No, I'm just kidding. They're wearing like, I don't know, something with no cushion. And I'm like, how is that comfortable? And they're like, I just like it, you know? So it's super subjective. So I try to put like different categories and I'll try to like describe how the shoe feels as far as the overall cushioning setup goes. But yeah, this is my list. So please no fighting in the comments or anything like that. But let's get it started off with the Lebron 19. Lebron 19, crazy cushioning setup. And I guess this first part of the list is more like crazy bouncy or just like super crazy cushioning setups, right? And the LeBron 19 is a very crazy cushioning setup. The heel Air Max unit gives a lot of compression. The 4-foot zoom unit gives a lot of bounce. Court feel, of course, is terrible, but you get a lot of bounce, a lot of compression, really good impact protection, super comfortable as well. And also it's super stable. You know, I guess that doesn't really tie into cushion, but with that much softness, you would think that, you know, it's not crazy stable. With LeBron 19, super wide shoe, and I really had no issues with lateral instability. So LeBron 19, super nice. Also, LeBron 18 is very nice as well. I would even say I like the LeBron 18 better, just in my personal preference. I love that full-length zoom unit. It's just a crazy cushioning setup. Like really insane. So heel compression is really nice. You get that full-length zoom unit right underneath your foot, which gives you really good step and comfort. So there is the LeBron 19 and 18. All right, next we got the Zoom GT Run, which is also a crazy cushioning setup. Rather, I mean, it's not a cushioning setup that I enjoyed though. You know what I mean? Because the 4-foot zoom unit, that zoom strobe unit in the 4-foot, felt like it bulged up and it kind of like made my 4-foot go a little bit higher than my heel, it felt like, and it felt a little bit uncomfortable, you know? And most shoes actually have an offset where the heel is higher than the 4-foot, but in that shoe it actually felt like the 4-foot was higher. So I didn't really like that feeling, and also the feeling of it just like this part is kind of flat and then my 4-foot is more just like bulging up like this. I didn't really like that feeling either. And it was a little bit too crazy for me personally, like a lot of compression, crazy bounce in the 4-foot. And it's a lot just because your foot is pretty much right on top of that zoom unit, you know what I mean? As opposed to like the LeBron 19, although it's a crazy thick zoom unit, your foot isn't like going into all of that, you know what I mean? But in the Zoom GT Run, it is. So just because of all of those things, it wasn't my favorite, but if you want something really crazy, especially in the 4-foot, then the Zoom GT Run is a great option. And also you have that full-length React, which, you know, it's a little bit stiffer than the React that they use in like the running shoes, or even like the Zoom BB NXT, I believe is what it was. But still it gives a little bit of compression and all that. So yeah, Zoom GT Run, very crazy. Next we got the Kyrie 8, which I like a lot better as far as the cushioning setup goes, as opposed to the Zoom GT Run, just because it feels a lot flatter. You're way lower to the ground, and for some reason I just don't feel like, I mean, there's still a lot of compression, but the Zoom GT Run feels like it has a little bit more compression. Maybe it's placebo or something, or maybe it's because it's a little bit flatter, so my 4-foot doesn't go into the zoom unit as much, as opposed to like the Zoom GT Run where it like bulged up. And then just to be flat, my foot had to like kind of dig into the zoom unit anyway. So maybe that's it. I don't know what it is. But either way, I like the Kyrie 8 cushioning setup a lot more than the Zoom GT Run. So yeah, it's still crazy. You get a crazy amount of bounce in the 4-foot, but it's relatively flat. You're super low to the ground. And also it's a very responsive cushioning setup. So yeah, Kyrie 8, really nice. All right, next for crazy cushioning setups, we got the Nike KD 14. We got full-length Cushlon, which is super soft. And I have a couple of people, or a couple of my friends, where they said it's a little too soft, and They said it's a little too much for cushion, you know, but for me personally, I really liked it. I like the combination of the soft cushion and the full-length zoom stroll unit right underneath my foot, which gives a lot of bounce. Also, you get that compression, which is super soft from the cushion, good impact protection. Court feel is still pretty damn good. And also, I felt pretty damn responsive, you know, just in my personal opinion, right? Like I said, I had some people where they said it was a little too soft and they felt a little like laggy, but just for me personally, I liked it. If you want something a little bit more like responsive, but you still want like a full-length zoom stroll unit, I would suggest going with the Jordan 36. Or maybe the Cosmic Unity. I actually saw the Cosmic Unity for like $100. It's on sale. But yeah, the Jordan 36 or the Cosmic Unity, you still get that full-length zoom stroll unit, which is super bouncy and good impact protection and all that. So there is a Jordan 36 and the Cosmic Unity. All right, next we got the Jordan Zion 1. It uses a full-length air strobo unit. It's actually very, very comfortable and super soft. I like it personally, but like again, I know some people that don't like it. They say it's a little too soft and not as responsive as they would like. And I guess I would agree with that, you know, like comparing it to something that's super responsive, like just a regular Phylon. It's a little bit laggy, but for me personally, I didn't mind it all too much, although I would say it is a little bit softer than I would like, you know? But if you want something right underneath your foot and super comfortable, then the Zion 1 is a great option. Good court feel, great impact protection and all that. So that about wraps it up for the crazy cushioning setups, which also for me, I don't like to play in like all the time. You know what I mean? Like for me, I like to have a low to the ground feel that's like responsive with just a little bit. I mean, obviously I want adequate impact protection. I don't want my feet to hurt, but then like if it's like a low to the ground cushioning setup where I can feel like very responsive in, then it's a great cushioning setup in my opinion. Not all the time though. Sometimes I feel old and my feet start to hurt and stuff like that, so I want like a soft cushioning setup or a shoe with good impact protection, but normally I do enjoy shoes that have a responsive cushioning setup. So for example, the Adidas Immortality is a great option, you know, super low to the ground. The foam isn't the best for impact protection, so especially in the forefoot, if you land pretty hard, it does hurt a little bit, but there is a nice little compression and nice little like rebound back in the heel for some reason, and I just like that overall feeling, you know what I mean? So I mean, obviously if you want something crazy or you want some like impact protection or bounce or something, it's not the best option, but it gets the job done if you want something responsive. All right, next we got the Jordan 1 Take 3. So I would say it's a little bit better than the Adidas Immortality because you have a top-loaded forefoot zoom unit, which feels nice. You get a nice little bounce and it doesn't like hurt as much if you land hard on your forefoot. Although I would say it's not as low to the ground as the Adidas Immortality. It's still really good court feel though. Also in the heel, it's a little bit more responsive as well. Not a lot of compression, just a tiny bit. But if you want something responsive with adequate impact protection and a nice little bounce in the forefoot from the zoom unit, then the 1 Take is a great option. And same thing with the Why Not 0.4. I would say it's a little bit better than the 1 Take 3 just because it's double stacked and you get a little bit more compression in the forefoot. But other than that, it's pretty much the same exact cushioning setup as the 1 Take 3. So still very responsive and still very nice. All right, next we got the Adidas Tray One, and this is a very nice cushioning setup where it's a good blend of impact protection, softness, and responsiveness, just in my opinion. You got that heel boost pod, which gives you great impact protection, especially for heel strikes, but also you get that like in the forefoot, you get a nice like soft step in comfort. The cushioning right on the foot is actually pretty damn nice. A good impact protection, but you're still low to the ground. I would say the heel, you're kind of high up, but the forefoot has great court feel. And in my opinion, I would say the Tray One is probably like the best overall cushioning setup. You know, it's just like, it's not too stiff where like impact protection suffers, but also it's not too bouncy or too soft or too much compression or anything where you feel a little slow. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a good blend of everything. So yeah, the Tray One is a very good overall cushioning setup. Next, we got the Adidas Dame 7 full-length light strike. You get a lot of heel compression. Some people even said it's a little too much for them. For me, it was actually very, very nice. Forefoot gets a little bit more dead. Court feel is pretty good. Impact protection is great. But overall, it's also a very responsive cushioning setup as well. Alright, next we got the Li-Ning Speed 8 Premium. And also this is a very, very good overall all-around cushioning setup. It's super low to the ground, which I really, really like, but also impact protection is really good for how low to the ground you are. You get a little bit of compression in the heel, you get a nice subtle bounce and rebound back in the forefoot as well, which feels super nice. It reminds me a lot of the Harden Volume 3 cushioning setup. So if you guys like the Harden Volume 3 cushioning setup, the Speed 8 Premium is very, very nice. And last but not least, we got the Anta KT7. So the KT7 has a lot of caging, so the actual midsole doesn't compress that much, but there is a good amount of like compression as far as like under your foot goes. It's pretty damn soft. There's a nice bounce back as well. It doesn't feel too soft and too laggy or anything, probably because of all of the caging that the shoe has, but it's still like really, really nice. It's also pretty damn responsive. There is a really high offset though. The heel feels pretty damn high. The forefoot is kind of low, like pretty good core feel. So you definitely do feel that. So if you don't like a very high offset, then obviously probably stay away from the KT7, but I don't mind it all too much. So overall, it's a pretty good all-around cushioning setup, but I would say it's a little bit softer than like the Speed 8 Premium or the Tray One. But anyways, that about wraps up this video. Tell us what shoe has your favorite cushioning setup, not just in recent memory, but just like of all time. And also tell us down in the comment section below, like, what's your preference for cushion? But anyways, again, if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I'll try to leave an affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.